Okay, Aristotle, Nichomachean Ethics Book 2. Now, in Book 2, Aristotle talks a lot about virtue, and he makes many points about them. But one of the main things he says is that virtue depends on the situation. It depends on the person. He doesn't want to prescribe like one definition for everyone, but he does come up with this idea of the mean, like the average. And he says that virtue is between two extreme sides. So courage is between being a coward and being reckless, for example. So the mean is a very important thing, and he ties it in with the idea of pleasure and pain. And he says pleasure and pain is very important, especially when it comes to virtue, because you're not just virtuous if you do a good action. No, you got to get the habit of doing the virtuous action to the point that you find pleasure in it, and only then you're virtuous. Kind of like the idea of nafs mutma'inna when it comes to the Islamic conversations. He also talks about how we have to be suspicious of pain or pleasure a little bit, that all of us have a presupposition. So when we are trying to find the mean between two extremes, if you have to err on the side of the thing that you feel less pleasure on naturally. So if you're more cowardly, then you rather push yourself to be more reckless than cowardly. So he talks about virtue. He talks about finding the mean. He talks about finding pleasure. He says, you got to be a little bit more skeptical of your pleasure. That's pretty much it.